This is Erick from Amp Live TV and the Amp Live Real Estate Show, coming to you live here today on Wednesday. We'll call it Education Wednesday. We got some cool stuff that's going on throughout the United States of America with creative real estate investing, traditional real estate, all around with inflation, the Feds. I believe there was a Fed meeting today or yesterday and today to go over interest rates and things of that nature. Some things are picking up here and there for buyers. There's some interesting stuff that on our, I guess, the journey for this show and getting some facts together and wanted to share them today with you. But the whole purpose of this show for today, for wellness, or I should say Education Wednesday, right? We're redoing the programming here throughout some of these shows. As I come out here live, definitely like, love, and share. I'd appreciate it if you'd like, love, and share. We're going live right now across different social media platforms. It's always live, real, and raw. And yes, unscripted. I stand for truth. So I'm just going to break down stuff that I think, and I'll look at it and digest it, analyze it, share it with you. And at the same token, there'll be some little sponsors and little advertisements for the brands that we have through Amp Live. It's powered, and we are powered by Amp Live Media, a media broadcasting and marketing company. First and foremost, I'll go ahead and pull it up if you don't know who I am. My name is Erick Jimenez of AHA Amp Live, or I should say AHA Americans Helping Americans. One American at a time, one property at a time, one family at a time, doing our part to get America back on track together with you and others across the United States of America. That is our true cause and mission, is to help our fellow Americans with real estate issues, whether they're good, the bad, the ugly. Awesome stuff, crazy houses, ugly houses, nice houses in nice areas, doesn't matter, probate, pre-foreclosures. And at the same token, with our affiliate partner and sponsors, VIP Execs, Realty, Lending, and Investments, and Luxury Properties, Step into Excellence, where they're able to actually, we're bringing them to the table so that you can be able to fund deals, rock deals, buy and hold, fix and flip, DSCR loans, private money, hard money, as well as traditional loans. You know, I think I posted last week, said it's time for refi. It's time to refi and pull that cash out to start, getting those multiple streams of income, start going after your dreams at the end of the day instead of just sitting on it. You're sitting on, it's great. You want to wait to retire, want to save the money. And probably, if you've been watching YouTube and TikTok and all the big dogs and gurus and stuff, right, there's like, you don't want to save the money. You want to put your money to work for you. So pulling money out and getting a refi, as long as you can cover it, and put it into another business that's going to cash flow, or buying a piece of property. Obviously, your 401ks, I think IRAs are probably better. That's just my opinion, than a 401k, simply because, 401ks, look what happened the last cycle. When the market took a shit, everybody lost their 401ks, all the baby boomers and people who invested in those things. And what'd you get for it? You didn't get reimbursed by the government, right? You didn't get reimbursed by the companies. You just got, hey, it is what it is. So good luck to you, right? Go get a job as a door greeter at Walmart or some shit, right? That sucks. So that's why AHA was built. That's why it's a God-driven journey, a God-driven purpose is why AHA, Americans Help Americans, exists today. And the mission is still the same. I'm going to go over a couple of things. I got my notes today, so because it is Education Wednesday now, right? As well as, we used to rock it as Wellness Wednesday. But for today's topics, I'm going to get into a few things here. Record high inflation, pressure from the Iran conflict, right? Capital gains tax. This is a good one. Capital gains tax cap is discouraging 13.1 million owners from selling. We got a solution for that, right? It's called creative real estate investing. It's called Sub 2, subject to existing financing. You want to stretch that out over several years. You don't want to sell it and then take the capital gains when you can stretch it out over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, 20 years or so. Usually it's going to be about 5 to 10. It's good enough, right? So there's solutions for creative real estate investing. That's why I keep saying creative real estate investing is the future of real estate. Texas, let's see what we got here. Record medium home prices, regional split markets. Check this out. Texas favors buyers. Northeast still favors sellers. What do we got? A renewed buyer activity despite high rates. Okay, so today's topics, we're going to get into it today for June 17, 2026, Education Wednesday. Quick framing, here we go. Yes, I'm reading verbatim, okay? Today's Fed decision and rate inflation story is the news hook right now. Here are some topics for you. Okay, so the traditional, obviously, we'll get into it. The traditional industry, obviously, right, and the creative finance and how that all works, right, is actually going to rock how we do things here. Now, the Fed just met. Rates aren't going anywhere. Traditional 30-year sits at 6.5 to 6.6. Fed signaled no cuts in 2026. Sons of bitches. Possibly a hike. Fannie Mae now projects about a 6.3, 6.4 holding into 2027. Sons of bitches, right? Creative angle. Yes, I'm reading it verbatim. Fannie Mae, right, doesn't foresee. Here we go. This is for the creative stuff, right? And going, okay, what's up? Fannie Mae doesn't foresee rates dropping below 6.3 until at least 2028. All right. So every month buyers wait for lower rates is a month they could have controlled a property with seller finance instead, right? So this is awesome for creative real estate investing, okay? Because you can get in. There's things are happening where the rates are from what the 2019, 22, and 23. There's 2.8, 3, 4, 5% interest rates, right? But that's the gist of what we're going to talk about today. We got some other stuff here. I got a couple more points on here, so I'll just give you maybe the topics. I want to say thank you for watching Amp Live TV. And the home of Amp Live Real Estate Show, always real, raw, and standing for truth as always. My name is Erick Jimenez. I'm probably going to share a little bit about my story too before we roll. If you don't know who I am and what I'm about, and what the cause and mission is all about, and what Amp Live, the American Mentee program that we've been utilizing to help Americans across the United States of America with one-on-one mentoring, getting into the business, helping them with their business, and showing them, hey, is this real? Does it really work? And some make it, some don't. That's just the way it is, right? That's life. But they have, at the end of the day, you're leaving with tons of information, or you're moving forward and we're rocking and rolling, doing deals together, or you go and do your own stuff, you take it to your family or whatever, and you just start kicking some butt, right, with real estate. All right, so let me go ahead and share this with you. Our sponsors for today and affiliate partners. Obviously, it's VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments, Step into Excellence. Some of the brands there are for VIP lending, as well as your key to home ownership, Step into Excellence. There's a QR code that you can scan right there to get some information. I'm going to go ahead and share the QR code. As you can see down below, VIP Execs Realty. You can see the ticker rolling down there, right? Let me get you a QR code. Home search. All right, so you can scan that QR code. I don't know if you can't see me, but scan the QR code there. That's for access to the MLS, so you can find deals, because there are people that teach that stuff. And for us, we prefer to go off-market properties and hunt off-market properties for a reason. You obviously get more control. You're eliminating, the middleman and all that good stuff. But there is a way to go after and look for those properties that have been sitting for a long time. Pre-foreclosures, probates, ugly houses, and they get listed. So even ugly houses and jacked up houses get listed. That's right. Look for those properties, and then you go hit up the agent. And if you can make an offer and buy it, great. There's all kinds of different things with novations that I won't get into too much. But I will share the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. I'm going to share that a little bit right now. I'll probably just put it in there. Might as well just get it out of the gate, because we're already here. And I want to share that with you. Anyways, it might be, you should right there. There's that it. The pre-sale, huh? We don't want no pre-sale. Okay, I want to take that shit out. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's rock and roll here. Okay, we'll go to the bottom here. Got a couple of things that you can do that I'll just put in the chat. It should go through. We're going to get into a little bit more in regards to creative real estate investing. If you don't know what it is, and like I mentioned in the post, right? If you don't know what real estate investing is, if you don't know what sub 2 is, seller finance, those all fly under the creative real estate investing umbrella. And did I put that in there? Okay, good. To share with you. One second. Put this right in there too, with a couple of notes in the chat. Okay. But I'm going to share with you today how powerful creative real estate investing is as deals are coming in and you're looking at these deals and you're just going, hey, it's a wholesale deal. Can I be a bird dog for you and find properties? Well, that's fine. You can be a bird dog, but you should know what the seller, what the investor wants, right? What does the investor want? What are they looking for? And hopefully you're vetting them correctly, because I noticed a lot of people just don't vet buyers correctly. They're just like, hey, find me a deal. And they're like, okay, cool, no problem. What are you looking for? This, that. And then they go try to find it for them. But then they still, if they understand the numbers, then they can break those numbers down and serve it up to a buyer, and they'll be happy. A lot of times that doesn't happen, right? Because if you don't know how to break down a deal, and you don't know what a deal looks like, and you don't know what a deal smells like, and you're just going, hey, here's the criteria, this is what I'm going to go after, I'm a bird dog, and go do that, you're not being a very good bird dog, right? Because you don't know the numbers. You should know the numbers. You can't skip the steps. Now, obviously, starting out when you first start out is a bird dog, then a wholesaler, then a creative real estate investor, or a real estate investor where you're just going with cash and assets, LLC money, equity money, family money, whatever, trust fund money, who knows, money from your 401k or IRA. And eventually you are going to, over a period of time in the next 3 to 4 to 5 years, if you're able to make it that far in this business, then you will start looking at creative ways and going, how can I take that sub to? How can I use OPM? Other people's money. How can I do it without having to go to the bank? Because I can only buy maybe 10 if I go to the bank, or I could buy a couple of fourplexes, based on my assets and things of that nature when you start out. And it's based on, hey, what about my credit? Do I have the experience? Do I have experience on any of that stuff? If you're, do you know what you're looking at? Now, obviously, there's always going to be a learning curve in the beginning. But with us, the learning curve is very quickly. It moves very quick. And at the same token, we go as fast or as slow as you need to go. But you got to vet those buyers so they know so you know what they want, and then you can serve it up to them on a silver platter, so to speak. At the same token, if you're wholesaling and you get to that point, you're like 70 cents on the dollar, maybe 75, and investors are spending a little bit more. That's that phase. It's part of the trend. It goes up and down. First they're at, I only want anything at 60, 65. Hey, okay, 70 is good. Okay, no, I need deals, so I'll pay 75, 80 cents on the dollar. And that depends on where it's at throughout the United States of America. Okay. But at the same token, agents can help you with some of this stuff if you get the good agents, the unicorn agents, or like what we got here with VIP Executive Realty Lending and Investments. Everybody who comes aboard the American Mentee program or the Amp Life Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator gets introduced, and introduction is part of the onboarding process. So you have access to be able to get those deals, work those deals, get a hard money loan, get approved for hard money loan, then maybe a DSCR loan, or depending on what you're wanting to do. And even if it's going to be, novations or listing the properties and things of that nature. Today, I'm going to share a couple things with you with creative real estate investing on how to get those off-market deals. Like I mentioned, right? Off-market is our favorite. I prefer off-market. That's just because it's not because, there's no deals on the MLS. Sure, there's deals on the MLS. There's more off-market than there is on the MLS. I can tell you that for sure. If you don't believe me, go check it out and see what data's out there. And other people go, it's the same data. Everybody's getting the same data. You want that special data. You want the pay-per leads. You want pay-per-click. Now, I'm not saying none of that works, because it does. It should be part of your arsenal. It should be part of your marketing strategy. And it should be part of, I like to call them verticals, verticals. Every type of marketing is a vertical, and then you build the foundation, then plug in a vertical 1, vertical 2, vertical 3, vertical 4. I was watching a movie with my son and my wife. It was called The Fury, I think, with Brad Pitt. Pretty crazy movie about tanks and Germany and all that good stuff, right? The only reason that clicked in my mind is because when I'm thinking of the foundation, then I'm thinking of verticals. I'm thinking of every vertical is like a freaking it's kind of like a tank, right? It's protected, and you got a big barrel, and you're just blowing shit up, right? So each vertical is kind of like your rock and roll tank to marketing. You're shooting out information, boom, 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 and you're working it. A vertical is marketing to bring you leads, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation, lead generation. So when you get those leads, right, I always say lock in like a shark and your eyes rolling back of your head, and then boom, you start taking down those properties and don't let go. But there's so much stuff in today's market. There's a lot of stuff everywhere, and there's different techniques, and people that get in, get out, get in, get out. They start, they finish, they don't finish, whatever. Some know what they're doing, some don't. Some get attitudes, right? That's why I don't like wholesaling with dealing with other wholesalers unless we vetted them. We have already papered up. I know they're marketing, they're doing business, and if we give them something, they're not going to daisy chain it. We're not going to daisy chain it, but we need to know what's going on. We can't control what's going to happen out there in the environment. Like I was talking about Saturday, right? Where deals come back and they're all scrubbed and it's our own deals from people trying to sell us their own shit. So that happens. The market right now, conditions are a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and share that with you. But off-market deals, how do you find those things? Yeah, pull data. Yes, you can do pay-per-click, you can do Facebook, all those things. They all work, but if you're on a budget or if you want to be consistent, pick one vertical, okay? Pick one vertical, get your CRM, set it all up, start text blasting, boom, 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 boom. If you can add a little ringless voice message, because I know you have the shitty carriers and the crybaby whiners out there, which are the carriers that, I won't mention any names for the cell phone companies, and even the ones that deliver the data or deliver the text messaging, right? They got to, they have to abide by the rules and regulations and blah, 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 all the BS at the end of the day. Just to make it harder for people to get registered for this, register for that, so they can nickel and dime you with a few pennies for this, a few pennies for that, because that adds up to millions and millions and tens and hundreds of millions of dollars for them, which is a total scam at the end of the day as far as I'm concerned. But it's all right. We just keep rocking and rolling. We maneuver in between that stuff, right? And we rock. But off-market deals, grab some data. Go to PropStream. Go get some data. Now they own batch leads, right? So you can get some data. You got a dialer. You can you make the phone calls. You blast out some text messages, and you wait for somebody to raise their freaking hand. When they raise their hand, you jump aboard and you jump in, and you start talking to them and setting. I like to call it the mission is the submission. Running through the mission is submission. Now, obviously, Deal Machine's pretty good. They got some pretty good data. They got Property Radar. That's pretty good data as well. So, but let me go ahead and pull this up. I think, do I got it in there? I sure do, right? I'm going to give this to you for free just for watching today. It's called Download the Free Sub-2 Flip Calculator. It actually has 3 bonuses. So how do you get, which is kind of funny, right? Because you're getting something free, then you're getting 3 free bonuses on top of that. Not even making you pay for the Sub-2 calculator or making you pay for anything just to get the bonuses. It's worth about $238, right? But this is for Sub-2 and seller finance and a hybrid of that. That's the future, like I said, of real estate right now. And that's being delivered through Amp Live and the Amp Live Create a Real Estate Investor, which I'm going to share with you in a little bit. But the three bonuses, I don't know if I can't even read them. I got my glasses on, right? But you get the calculator, you get a bonus, which is the analysis checklist so this way you can analyze whether that's a freaking Sub-2 deal or not. Because if you're doing wholesale and you're just rocking wholesale, and you're going, okay, cool. If you don't know anything about creative real estate, you're going to stop at 70 cents or 75 cents on the dollar. This, we're going to keep moving forward, right? And I'm going to share that with you, which I usually don't share with anybody. Unless you come aboard the one-on-one mentoring program, the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, and then we deliver on that promise to you, right? But the Sub-2 analysis checklist, then you got 5 motivated selling scripts that work, and then the maximum allowable offer cheat sheet that you can print up, laminate it, put it in your car, put it in your back pocket, put it wherever you need it to go, so you'd never forget, and eventually you'll remember it. And then the 5 seller motivated scripts are awesome for tired landlords, NODs, pre-foreclosures, probates, all that good stuff. Absolutely free. Let me see. There should be maybe. I know I hate that shit, right? It is what it is. Okay, here we go. Let's drop this in here. Where's the calculator? I'm going to drop it in here. You can grab it for free. If you have questions, just reach out. Open door policy. There you go. Now I'm going to talk about a little bit today. I'm going to tap on to one of our little brief interruptions here. Not even interruption, but some data, some education for you, right? So let's go. The 100, we got the 128,000 tax trap keeping 13 million sellers hostages, right? Now, an outdated capital gains tax from 1997 could be discouraging 13.1 million homeowners from selling, with 15% of owners potentially facing large tax bills as home values have surged, which is more bullshit. Traditional sale, right, equals seller eats the tax hit now. Seller finance, there's the key, there's the solution, equals spreads the gain over years, right? Form 6252. This is a direct pitch. So this right here, obviously, when we do have something for you. Let me see. Okay, so education. Yeah. Okay. This is all designed, to sell you some stuff. Okay. So I got stuff to sell. What do we have to sell? It's the seller finance offer bundle. Okay. That's one of them. And it's probably already put in there. It's probably already in the in the post. But we do have that. That's rolling out. And that's going to help you with the seller finance. It has a calculator to figure out, is it seller finance? Am I going to do no money down, some money down? I'm going to do a hybrid of that. So, so it's going to give you up to 5 different strategies for seller finance, even the wrap if you need to do that. But you punch it all in and it'll come up. I'm not sure if I have that pulled up here. Let me see. I might be able to share the screen with you. There it is, seller finance. Okay, so we got there. Okay, this is the vault. Which one is this? 5 tools. I believe this is it. Let me take a look. Let me share the screen and find out. Cancel. All right. Oh, you can see this. Oh, there is something right there for you. Oh, look at that. Boing, boing, boing. That's for you. Lock your spot in for one-on-one mentoring program. It's the only program on the planet where we mentor you truly one-on-one. Nobody does that because they don't want to. Guarantee you that. Where's it at? Oh, okay. It's going to be one of these. You got it? Oh, did I pass it? All right. This is check out the vault. Is it the starter vault? No, I think it's going to be this vault right here, right? So see if it comes up. And then I'm going to go ahead and share this with you. Whoa, share this right here. There you go. The REI Creative, REI Starter Vault, right? And we'll actually drop this into the vault for you if you come aboard the Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. And obviously there's Wholesale Deal Analyzer Kit, Sub 2 Conversion Starter Kit, pack, I should say, 30-day full first deal accountability system, Seller Finance Offer Builder. That's the one you want, the Seller Finance Offer Builder, right? 5 seller finance deal structures: low down, no down, interest only, balloon, wraparound, fill in the blank, LOI templates for each. Why seller finance wins, right? Leave behind and you can leave behind and there's also a negotiation script. So you can leave behind, yes, some numbers for them and let them know why it's so awesome. And there's also a negotiation script. That's the one you want right there. And that's which tool do I use? So $185 worth of tools for 97 buckaroos. If you're interested in that, definitely send a DM and I will send you a link for that to get the vault. So obviously we got the free calculators, $97 vault. We got the 1997 charter program rocking and rolling. So let me make sure we go back in here. And then I'm going to pull this up here and share this. Why most fail in real estate without mentorship, right? Now, they probably won't admit it and go, oh, I'll just watch YouTube. I'll watch TikTok. I don't need a mentor. Don't need a coach. But when you get to that point and you get stuck, everybody and their mother says, I want a coach. I wish I had a coach. I wish I had a mentor. Oh, I don't want to spend that much money for a mentor or a coach. I'll figure it out. Kind of like when I got started, it was just cheap. And at the end of the day, right, I figured I'll just keep it up. I'll figure it out. I'll reverse engineer it. What can they teach me, and how do I know that they're going to teach me this stuff, right? Kind of like a young man I've been talking to, back and forth here, right? So paranoid, right? How do I know I'm not going to get burned or ripped off, or it's a scam, or they're going to disappear? Because I hear that a lot, right? When I'm talking to people, oh, my coach, I got a coach, and then they disappeared. 2 weeks later, 3 months later, I said, well, how do they disappear? How did that even happen, right? I don't know, but I guess it happens. But I know we'll never disappear on you. At the end of the day, you'll probably be the one that's going to disappear, not us, because we're going to be here, knock on wood, for this cycle into the next cycle. If God allows me to be here for the next cycle, my kids will be here for a couple more cycles. If you're a young buck or gal, then you'll be here for a few, 2, 3, 4 cycles. If you're in my age bracket, maybe a cycle or two, if you're lucky. If God says, yeah, you get to stay on this planet for a little bit longer. But other than that, yeah, having a mentor is super, super powerful. I know. Maybe just a little 2-minute snippet on myself. I probably should have did it in the beginning of the show. But how I got started and how I got into creative real estate investing was, one, moving up the corporate ladder, saying, man, I'm going to get a job. I'm going to work my ass off, start at the freaking bottom, bust ass, move up the corporate ladder, let me get into management for 5 years was the goal. That's what I did. I did it like in 3. So boom, as I started moving up the corporate ladder, then I said, okay, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? How's this going to work? And then keep hammering away. And I'll even tell you another story, but maybe say that for another day. It's pretty crazy. But, as I started moving up and then, getting into the business and, managing people, understanding P&Ls, profit and loss, marketing, being responsible for millions and millions of dollars and people and their lives and staff and all that good stuff. Wow, it was a lot. I learned a lot, but also they worked me a lot. And then as I started moving into the upper parts of management, it was turned into an hourly, into with bonuses and stuff, into a salary with bonuses and things of that nature. Excuse me. And then I pretty much kept on working from 40 hours. I was on a salary of 45 hours. And then he moved me to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay. Reader's Digest version. 90 hours, which I didn't think anybody in this planet could work 90 hours. But it's true. I talked to probably a month ago. One guy works for the water company, does some other shit, and that guy's working like 80, 90 hours. For whatever reason, I think he got in some hot water with him and his wife credit cards or a bunch of other, whatever. Life happens, right? And, trying to do real estate. So for me, I said, well, the real estate's what's going to get me out. I need to be able to do this. I want to buy, fix and flip properties and hold on to the good ones and cherry pick them and build a portfolio and all that good stuff. I'm going to suit up. I want to be professional because I already was wearing a suit anyways, and I enjoyed it and I like it. So I said, hey, what else? Where's the natural lateral move? And it just kept real estate kept coming back in my life, my teens and the 20s, and then boom, finally just said, you know what? Got so frustrated one time at a job at my gig and the corporate with my boss and all that good stuff, so I just said, the hell with that. I went and got another management job. I was already working 80, 90 hours of work. So I found another management job from 4:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. And then Saturday to Sundays off, one Saturday a week. So I worked 45 hours at the job, and then the other 40 hours I put into real estate until I was able to leave that business or leave that gig and that corporate job. And that was the game plan, right? It was hard. Yes, people didn't believe I could do it. People didn't believe in me. People didn't, a lot of bullshit and sarcasm and stuff, right? With your family and people and friends, it is what it is. That's what's going to happen. And then you start, but I was also on a journey because I was studying and reading and testing and failing at other businesses and things of that nature as I was moving through this process and this reading. So I picked up Think and Grow Rich. If you don't have it, grab it. It's going to help you change your life. Not to mention that here's my son lend me his Bible here, but I get it, and my eyeballs it's hard to read this, but it's pretty crazy. There's some crazy, awesome stories in the Bible. So the Think and Grow Rich book is not to replace that, but it's based on character. And that's from the 1800s and 1900s, right? It's not getting into like the 70s and 80s and 90s where you fake it till you make it, pretend you have character. Hey, smile. Hey, how's it going? Listen, let me get more fired up here. A lot of this and how I act is just over a period of time because that is my personality. That's who I am. I was a shy guy. I'm not going to lie when I was a kid, but I'm not going to give you my whole life story. But the bottom line there is that it helped me. There's certain things that help you through as you make these lateral moves in life. And it just happened to be for me that was the thing. I got frustrated. Real estate kept coming back into my life. I said, that's what I'm going to do. Once I knew that it was real and that these guys and gals were doing this crazy real estate investing thing, not just the traditional stuff, that I decided to say, I'm going to do it. I have a leap of faith, and I just needed to know where the rocks are at so I could run and then jump off the freaking cliff and just needed to make sure I could clear the rocks. And then if I hit the water, I'm good to go because I know how to swim. Okay, and then I know that's some abilities from my business and that I can take those into this new business. And that's what I did. I like marketing. I like branding. I like stuff to look sexy and things of that nature, right? And they also need to make sense. So that was the pivot. And that's what I made. I made the pivot. I did it. I started, moving. So there's no excuse. People say, hey, I'm doing this. I'm raising this. I got kids. I'm married, I went through divorce. Everybody has issues. I get it. At the end of the day, unless you commit to it, then it's not going to happen. Even with me, at the end of the day, we all have to jump in and we got to jump into the fight, jump into the ring and fight and do what we need to do. That doesn't mean you got to hustle, hustle, hustle. I learned that too. In the beginning, is work, 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 work at the job, and you burn out and you get tired, and you burn out and you get tired. And I think no, you can work smarter, right, these days. And I think, but there is something where you got to kind of move forward, and you have to get to a certain level where your skill sets and you feel your good skill sets are there, and then using other people, OPE, other people's efforts, right? That's the magical key to be able to do more stuff, to have more businesses, is other people. But you got to set it up, have a system, and then start running it, and then move to the next one, the next one, the next one. And if you notice, that's how, look, Elon Musk and all these guys and gals got 2, 3 businesses. They start off with one, but then they got another one, they got another one. So like, how are they a CEO of these like 5 companies, right? And that's kind of the norm right now, right? Because everybody's doing this. Let's do the multiple streams of income. It doesn't matter, try to do this, try to do that, sell this, sell that, sell this, sell yourself, whatever. In some capacity, because we're always selling no matter what. That's just part of life. It's just they just put a label on it. It's called sales. But that's how I got started. I got the bug. Once I got the bug, I never left the bug. It just stays with you. And once I understood that, hey, that this is real estate, that you can use leverage, and then I got into creative real estate investing thanks to my mentor, and opened up that door. And then that opened up the whole freaking world, was subject to existing financing, seller financing, rent to own, lease options, yes, notes, all that stuff that they do, other people, and that we do. For us on the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, or even the American Mentee program, it's pretty simple, right? Your first deal might be a fix and flip. It might be a wholesale deal. It might be a seller finance. It doesn't matter, because what you don't know is what you don't know, but we do, and we do know, so we'll be there to help you with that. That's the beautiful thing of having a mentor. That's why most people fail, because they can't ask a video, or they get into a program and they're asking email, or it's customer service and they're out in the Philippines or in China, or, China don't do that stuff, but, the Philippines, the Indians, and what else? You got some Hispanics and Mexicans out in Mexico answering phones and doing that customer support stuff, right? And you can get on the live, but if there's a bunch of people on a live, then, it takes forever to get something answered. And is it going to get answered correctly? Do you want to ask, and all that good stuff, right? Unless it's, belly to belly. And that's very rare, because everything is done here. Social media, right? Everybody wants to be the keyboard warrior and hide behind the phones and not get on phones. And old school is like, hey, that's old school stuff. I don't need to do that. Yeah, you do. Okay. I'm telling you, cycles and trends happens. Trends happen. All the stuff that you got right now, tech, AI, this, that. Awesome work, saves you time. Yeah, it's going to eliminate employees and things of that nature, or people, and your bottom line is going to be tighter and fatter and juicier. But guess what? Everything goes in cycles. That means you better have some skill sets, because the ones who have skill sets, you're going to get your fucking ass kicked, because the ones who have skill sets and have personality, who can connect with people, are going to blow everybody else away, including the AI stuff. Now, AI is good to get you in the door, right? Kind of put your foot in the door. But it's going to be the ones that have skill sets and high closing ratios that are going to rock, always do. When the market takes a shit, who's going to rock? The ones who understand creative real estate investing with high conversion rates or high closing ratios, right? Not the AI, not the tech. So maybe you put a yin and yang, right? You get the nerds to, boom, get you to do what you need to do here to get all the CRM stuff and all that good stuff rolling. And then you get the rock and roll sales peeps to go kick some ass. Now you got yourself a nice yin and yang team, right? But that's and that's, engineers, are not the greatest salespeople, but they're very analytical. You got IT people, you got tech people, you got people that are corporate people, you got salespeople, you got car salespeople, right? But one time, someone, it was a mentee, asked me, "Hey, were you born a salesperson, man?" I said, "No, I was the shyest guy on the planet. You know what I mean? I didn't talk very much, and when I did, just words of wisdom came out, I guess, once in a while, I think." You know what I mean? And then at the same token, over time, certain things, happened in my life where it brought out, some the inner Erick, I guess, right? The alter ego Erick, right? We all got an alter ego. We got the cool person, then we got the crazy person, we got the one who's right on par with stuff, right? It's just whatever parallel world you decide to live in, you can produce. So the answer to that question was, are you born a real salesperson? I'd have to say yes and no, because some people do have a certain type of DNA that are, there's introverted people, and then there's people that are not. They're like boom. They're just like blossoms, right? But I will say that no, you're not born a salesperson, but it's in your DNA to become one. Anybody, everybody, it's in everybody's DNA because God don't make junk, right? It just means you can learn it. You're just learning stuff. You're learning scripts. You're learning how to talk with people. You're learning some psychology. You're listening to people and speaking in a certain tone, in tonality, and all that good stuff, right? Those are all things that are sales 101 stuff that we share with you as you come aboard. I don't want to take too much time because I'm on what are we at? 35 minutes? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because we got some rock and roll things to do. But that's one of the things right there where the traditional sale equals sale. So seller finance is the key. It's the solution, okay? I did want to share that, though, why most fail in real estate without a mentor. And it's true. Get a mentor. Even if it's not us, I don't care. Get somebody to work with. Now, this is every Wednesday is the Real Estate Domination, or Thursday, I should say, every Thursday at 2 p.m. So tomorrow at 2 p.m., the Real Estate Domination limited time webinar. Well, I should say, it's not limited time anymore because we decided, hey, we love it. Thursday, we'll do it at 2 p.m. And I'm going to share with you on how to dominate your area through creative real estate investing. I'm going to share the AMP Live American Mentee program with you, AMP Live Accelerator. I do question, Q&A, and all that good stuff on a Thursday. But check this out. Number 3, record home prices, record equity, and nobody's tapping into it, okay? So homeowners tapped $47 billion in equity in quarter 1. The highest first quarter level in 4 years. Now, while May brought a medium sales price of $429,300, a record high, traditional refi or HELOC is obviously on the rise. Okay, so HELOCs and refis. So I was right on par, and that was just a sense. I didn't look at anything and even pull up numbers. I was like, it's time to refi, guys and gals. You got equity. Let's rock and roll. You're sitting on it. If you can't sell your damn house because you don't want to, because you're too stubborn, don't want to do creative real estate investing and spread that shit over a period of time, a period of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years, then yeah, you're going to get stuck with your property. You're going to get stuck where you're at. You're not going to be able to get your top dollar. And if you wait too long, the market is going to shift. It is going to change, and prices in certain areas are dropping. And you're going to lose equity. So instead of losing equity, then pull some cash out, do a refi. And that's where VIP Execs Realty comes in. VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments. I should say VIP Lending. I'm going to put that information up here. If you're looking to go ahead and, pull some cash out, go buy a property in the Midwest somewhere, right? Maybe buy a fourplex. Maybe it's a 15, 20 unit property. Go buy, my sons will be talking about storage units and stuff, right? Go buy some storage units. Go buy some freaking vending machines. Go buy some ATMs. Go buy some, what else? Car washes, like, the other creative real estate investing peeps are doing, right? They're looking for all that passive and residual income, okay? Go for it. Time is time. It's time to refi now, and you might as well do it because you're going, oh, my God, what about the rates and this and that? No. When you're doing creative real estate investing, yes, to a degree, only because there's a niche for it right now with some of those. But before, it was like, who gives a shit about the rate? Don't matter. We're buying the property creatively. We're going to use leverage. We're going to make money. And when you're using leverage, the numbers and return on investment are astronomical. That's just a fact. And no, it does go in cycles and trends. You just got to, I always say it's like we have a product called Surfing for Deals, right? What are you doing? You're surfing for deals. How's the market right now? Well, let's ride the market. You're always going to ride the market. How many cycles are in a cycle? Is there micro cycles? Of course there is, right? Last big cycle was, 2008 took a shit. When's the next one going to be? When's the next cycle where the market's going to take a shit, right? Excuse my French. 2030, 2033. Those are probably my predictions. 2030, 2033. 20. God damn. I don't know what I'm getting. What do you call it? All chalked up here. Dehydrating. I think I need to eat. I didn't eat enough. I had too much coffee and not enough food. I don't think I ate anything. Did I eat anything? No. Hello, Eric. Did you eat anything? No, I didn't eat anything. Okay. All right, here we go. A record high traditional refi HELOC, okay? Creative is exactly the equity position, your sub-2, seller finance, obviously programs that we got here, right? The stuff that I shared with you are the tools that you're going to need in today's market. If you're a real estate agent, you're a broker, You're a wholesaler, you're an investor, you're a new investor, maybe you're a seasoned investor. And even those are, I get it. Seasoned investors, they get stuck, they get comfortable. And I don't want to hear this. I don't look at that tool. I don't want to do this. Just bring me a deal. Because that's what they used to, cash a fat check or get some cash flow or do whatever. You always got to be evolving. As they say, if you don't lose it, you lose it. So hopefully before you lose it, you start working it out and going for it. Even myself, right? I'm working myself out. I got to challenge myself for June and July, okay? And I'll throw it out there to the public. June and July are deals day, right? So even for our own personal stash here, not just mentees and students and sharing this stuff with others, but my personal, challenge for June and July is going to start. And it's special because of the numbers. I won't share that, personal information, this and that, or whatever. Hey, but that's just for me, right? It's a little personal thing, some goals I wrote down, but a challenge for June and July and it's going to start probably Friday, maybe, I believe. So Friday, and we're going to go 30 days. And I'm going to challenge myself and start rocking, see how many deals I get, how many locked up wholesale deals I get, subject to deals, seller finance, rent to own, lease options. Everything under the freaking sun. If I smell it, we're going to go for it. If I smell it, we're going to draft it. And then we're going to send it. And we're going to lock the shit up. Going to stack it. And I might even just bring on mentees and some students to help me with that. And we'll go from there. Okay. So there it is publicly. At the end of the day, we got tons of stuff for you. Creative real estate investing is the way. As you can see, and I'm not making this stuff up, right? This is stuff that's been pulled. This is stuff that's going on in the United States of America right now. And these are tips for you, right? So definitely let me pull up this real quick. When you can go ahead and scan that for VIP Execs Realty Lending and Investments. You can scan that QR code right there for refis. And even if you got to pull cash or you want to pull cash out of your rentals and do a DSCR loan, refi, pull that out and go find some more properties. If it's in California, obviously the brokerage can help you find those. If it's anywhere else in the United States of America, they can still help you along with my help to help you find inventory in different states, whether it's Tennessee's pretty hot, Nashville's pretty hot, certain parts of like Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. I've always liked Dayton, and I see that Dayton's starting to come up and people are hunting Dayton in the surrounding area. Texas Triangle, obviously, Dallas-Fort Worth is obviously saturated, but there's gold in them, their hills. San Antonio, man, those prices have gone up. It reminds me of when we're in the Midwest and looking at Corona, and they were going for $137,000. 2 years later, boom, they're over $300,000-$500,000. That's what's happening down there. So San Antonio, unfortunately, and all those places, they go up when the market takes a shit. Depends on how bad it gets. Stuff's going to go back into the 80, 90, 100, 120. So be prepared to gobble up all that shit. Because Texas, I call as, that's just my theory. Because when people used to come here, 30 years ago, 40 years ago to California, I'm going to go to California. It's not just the gold rush, but there's, I'm going to be a star. It's Hollywood. There's business. It's awesome down there. Things are popping. The weather is beautiful. And I'm going to just going to rock California. Texas is the new California. Not Florida, Texas. Texas is the new California. That's the gold, and then they're dirt in tornado season, right? And all that good stuff, right? And floods and everything. But, hey, business is business. That's the opportunity. The Texas Triangle, buy anything inside the Texas Triangle, and you sit on it forever and pass it on to your family, you're going to do fine. Of course, anything in California that you buy doesn't ever go. It goes down, but it's always valuable, and you can't really go wrong to a degree, because obviously it's not a red state or a friendly state. But let's keep on rolling here. All right, a couple more minutes. America has two housing markets right now. Which one are you in, right? Texas Metro's there. I just got done talking about it. Man, we're on the flow here. All right, so Texas Metro shows strong buyer leverage, with Austin, Houston, and San Antonio having more sellers than buyers, while the Northeast remains Northeast remains seller leaning, with Nassau County, New York at 38% seller versus buyers. And I shouldn't say it, but I'm not a fan of New York, especially with that shitty shitbag in office. Great visual map segment. Okay, strategy. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, boom, boom, boom. First-time buyers are back, believe it or not. 35% of all sales. First-time buyers hit 35%, the highest since June of 2020. Traditional, here we go. Good news for agents. Create a, okay, this is, okay, which is obviously a good sign for agents. Go after those buyers. Go after those new buyers. They're out there. And create, here we go. Is your mentor, this is, okay, here we go. And obviously, this is something that's happening too. There's buyers out there, but they can't qualify. So the buyers that can't qualify, guess what? That's where we come in, right? We can do those seller financing type deals. You got some money. So here's a scenario. You got an agent working with a buyer, can't get qualified, but maybe they got 50, 100, 250,000 bucks saved up, war chest or whatever, but they just can't qualify for that house they want. We can go in as a creative real estate investor and work a deal with other properties where we can leverage and use that money to buy into a sub-2 seller finance hybrid to help them get into a piece of property, right? That's where creative real estate investing comes in. Once again, that's going to be for obviously this here. I'll share it with you. The Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator and the American Mentee Program. So when I said there's two types of markets right now, yeah, there's the markets that can first-time home buyers, they can buy houses, people want to buy houses, vacation houses, and then the ones who cannot but have money are for creative real estate investors. That's what this program was designed for. That's what it's designed to do, to go after those niches and go after those types of sellers and buyers, investors, and all that other good stuff. I'm going to pull this up and pull up a QR code as well for this. I believe this is right here. And this is good till Sunday. It's the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. Become a real deal maker in 30 days or less. Scan that QR code and lock in your spot. First-time home buyers are back. We talked about that. Existing home sales hit a 5-month high despite the rate history, right? May 2026 brought in 4.17 million in sales, the strongest pace since December. The income gains outpacing home price growth in most parts of the country. There we go. So there we go. People are moving. They need to structure. So okay, interesting. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So hopefully you got a little bit of some information from that and kind of explains or shares with you like, hey, hoping it opens up your horizon and going, hey, you can have the blinders when you're rocking and rolling, put your head down and grind or whatever you want to call it. And then, you need to take the blinders off when you're dealing with creative real estate investing, because creative real estate investing dictates that the blinders got to come off, right? That stuff's got to come off. You got to be able to understand and recognize where the money's at, where the opportunities are at. Also with the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, you get the standard vault, which are contracts, LOIs, seller scripts, checklists, all that good stuff, deal analyzer tools, affiliate resources. And at the same token, you're going to get some of those things that are coming out now, which are the calculators, the REI starter kits and things of that nature will eventually be added to the vault, but that's the premium vault. The premium vault has all those other things. This is a standard vault, everything that you need to be able to do a deal, your first, second, third, or fourth deal or more. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up here. Appreciate you watching Education Wednesdays. Here we go. I'm just going to wrap it up with this. Own Your Piece of America, Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator, the $1,997 live coaching. Okay, so I'm still going to honor that. The do-it-yourself is do-it-yourself. That is gone. It was for free. We're giving it away for free, but that's no longer. But on Sunday, the $1,997 coaching with a hybrid of one-on-one mentoring and live coaching, that will end on Sunday. So when that's done, then it'll revert back to the $1,997 still, but you'll have the live coaching in there like on Fridays. So it's just one Friday every week. Wednesday, deal analysis, Tuesday for support. With this here, what we're honoring publicly is the 1997 hybrid. All right. So America was built by owners, and I shared this before. AHA, Americans Helping Americans, exists for one reason: to help every hardworking American own real estate. without needing perfect credit, a big down payment, or a bank's permission. But at the same token, look, that's not for everybody, right? That's I said there's two markets here, right? There's a market for buyers going, man, I got my credit and I got a job, boom, boom, boom. They got a good lender like VIP Execs, Realty Lending and Investments, and they go get a loan and they're able to, work with the same company, which is VIP Execs, Realty Lending and Investments, to go help you get into that property instead of waiting 3, 4, 5, 6 months because you've been working with a shitty agent or a broker and it just couldn't get deals done. Instead, you're like, boom, the first week you're in there. Maybe it's the first month and you found your forever home and you're locked in and you got a juicy rate and all that other good stuff. And boom, it's a done deal and you make a friend forever, right? Because I always say like real estate agents and brokers are like your attorneys, right? They're your people on your team, right? They're your attorneys, they're your CPAs, they're your marketing people. Just like a real estate agent should be part of your financial dream team, as well as having investors and networking with other people and things of that nature, even with people like myself and what we do, right? Because it's obviously for the long term. So I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling here. Faith in God we trust, patriotism, that's right. That's the AHA movement, and creative real estate investing strategies since 2003. That's when I got started. You kind of heard my little story. 3 ways to join: do it yourself, live coaching, or one-on-one mentoring. Now, the one-on-one mentoring obviously is here. I'll put that in the QR. I believe there's a QR code, right, for the one-on-one, I think. Should be. Creative real estate. Oh, is it it? I'll just put it in the chat. I believe it'll be here, and you can go ahead and book some time. Was that not it? All right, where's it at? Right there. Here we go. We'll do this here. We'll drop that in there. Some more links. Now I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for watching the Wednesday, Education Wednesday. Appreciate you. I'll also be back tomorrow for Thursday. Thursday is going to be Thursday Deals Day, as well as the Domination Live webinar. But if you need to, you can always go to apply at Get Erick Paul Live. You can apply.geterickpaul.com to apply. And that's a selection process for the one-on-one mentoring program. And this is why Americans Help Americans is born, right? It was made in America, empowering Americans through creative real estate investing. I'll leave it for another education show because otherwise we'll go into this way too long. But you can scan that QR code right there and jump aboard the American Mentee program or the Amp Live Creative Real Estate Investing Accelerator. I won't go into any more slides. I'll leave you with this here, and you get to pick and choose which one is going to be best for you. And I'll put my mug up here, and I'll wrap this up. All right, so I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Have an awesome week. Definitely reach out if you're stuck. Now, if you ever wanted to say, I want to get into fix and flip, I want to buy and hold, I want to buy some storage units, I want to get into multifamily. Who knows, right? Maybe it's assisted living. We're going to help you with every one of those things, but we're going to start off in a way that's going to build the foundation first, right? Then we work on you. Then we work on tech. And within that process, we're rocking wholesale deals, fix and flip, buy and hold, whatever comes down the wire, we're going to help you with. That's the beauty of what we do. It is muscle memory. It's based on muscle memory. It's based on psychology. It's based on the things that we've been doing. I like to call it the Amp Live method, art of the deal, whatever you want to call it. But it's the Amp Live method. It works for you and works super, super quick. And it's about getting into the club. That's what this is all about. Because remember, the system has been created to keep you out. Guarantee it. I figured it out long time ago, 2003. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff going on in today's market. As you can see, I shared a lot of stuff with you today. But definitely reach out. Let's touch bases. Let's rock and roll together. As I always say, rock and roll in all that you do. Have an awesome, awesome week. We'll talk to you soon. Rock and roll for June. Have an awesome, beautiful summer. And God bless you.